parking space again.
No, sir. Oh, time and service, time and grade.
Well, you outranked me, but in the wrong service.
Which time and service?
23.
Okay, you got me time and service. I have 19. They gave me 20, but I didn't get the full 20. I got medically retired before.
We have a running joke, Nelson, about the
I
veterans,
always take
about the veterans parking spot. Yeah.
I take the
If she's,
veteran
you know, if
first,
she's here
so
first, you know, I give her a hard time because it's my parking spot.
when she's here first, she takes it.
And I give Natalie a hard time too.
Well,
Natalie never takes it because she has the handicap plate. I refuse to
okay,
put the
yeah, all right,
handicap
that's
plates
right,
on
yeah.
my car, even though I have them. I have the placket. I won't put.
You
the
know,
handicap.
what's his name? What was his name before Natalie?
Joe Mazzola.
Mazzola. He wouldn't park in the veteran spot.
Yeah.
Because he wanted it for veterans that came in to see him.
Could we have John Page attend to announce
Hartley, can you hear me?
what,
the charter? He was.
I neglected to add it to the
Hartley?
agenda. How would we?
Yes, I can hear you all fine.
Can you make sure everybody's page? We were hearing
okay.
One of the citizens,
During my,
Joe's John's iPad, and citizens. We were hearing sounds from those.
the updates and
Can you make
reports.
sure that?
Okay,
That is
on the screen it should show, John's iPad video. I can see John's iPad video, he's still muted.
It is now, and just make sure, but I thought we muted everybody ourselves, so they don't have a chance unless we unmute them. Can you do that, please?
Excuse me, could you repeat that, please?
Can you just make sure that we have control and have everybody muted?
Well, all right, let me make a phone call on that, I'll get right back to you.
If it's, you don't know how to do it, don't worry about it, we'll figure it out for next meeting. We'll just, but we should be able to mute because of that incident that we had, and I'm sure
Well,
you're
you
not
can
gonna,
mute.
but we had incidents in the past where people were, going over, voicing over our conversations, and, we had set it up that nobody can come in unless we unmute them. Okay? Welcome, Ronnie.
Is that the folder there? I'm not sure at the time. It was really the top of that. It's later in the evening.
Oh, it is this one?
Yeah,
Yes,
it is
this one,
now.
okay.
We probably just keep it in the background.
Yeah.
John, can you please mute your computer?
Actually, do we have the ability to mute people?
Yes, because we had some people saying.
Thank you for sending that to me, and I started looking at it.
Okay, because that's, I mean, it's really,
Do the other two?
no.
Is it okay to share?
Well, I would go through, because see, now that you're on the board, I'm meeting one.
Oh, forget it.
And that's why originally.
I'm gonna look at it.
Yeah, I mean, everybody, I think, but I know you had already talked to me, mentioned briefly that you agreed with me
Oh,
on it. So
absolutely.
I'm like, oh, she'll get it, so I wanted to send it to you.
Okay.
Originally, I sent it, like, because of the open meeting, I didn't wanna set anybody up. Back in August, I sent it to Chaz, Ross, and Carla. It's for everybody to
sense.
distribute it, so I knew that you might listen, so I wanted to, and that you knew exactly what I was talking about.
Yep.
So I sent it just to you, and then, do whatever you want.
This is your copy.
Oh, thank you. Should I move over one so that we can spread out?
Do you? It's just,
What is that? I think it's the owl telling us it's there.
no, someone.
No, something's
No?
not. John,
I'll wait for
can you
that.
hear me?
Hello, Teresa?
Yeah? Yes, Hartley?
The way that works is, if you want, you request someone to be muted, let me know, say so, and I will do so.
Okay, so we have somebody on here, John, iPad, it needs to be muted, we're getting some sounds from that.
Okay, I'll take care of that.
Thank you very much.
I think it honestly should be everyone.
Yeah.
It should be muted.
Sure, no, let's just go with
Thumbs
that
up.
for now.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Yeah, I talked to Dave about that at the next thing, but nobody should come on and be able to speak. Cause it's usually before, or at the end of the meeting, that they try to do those baba booey type things, et cetera. Guys, we have a 14 motions this evening, so what I'm gonna ask,
Well, let's wait till,
For the meeting starts.
yeah, before we start discussing things.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was gonna ask we've discussed this before the meeting, that we just, have you move them and Veronica second them. We don't have to reread the motion completely, just one person move them and one person second them. Okay? And just procedural, but I can say it again once we start.
Do you wanna ask Hartley to, mute someone named Citizen as well?
I haven't heard anything from that. Hartley? Harley?
were you asking?
Yeah.
Me?
Can you also, just make sure everybody, is muted, is there somebody else, I think I'm hearing stuff from Citizen? Can you make sure they're muted as well, and anybody else that comes in, make sure they're on mute, please.
Okay, thank you.
If they need to speak, they'll raise their hands. And I'll announce that.
Can we get a picture next to the flag of the three of us?
Excuse me,
First time ever.
I'm sorry, this citizen, one doesn't have an apparatus that I can mute them.
So they're only watching the photo, they're not on audio?
Apparently.
There's no mic showing, so I don't
Okay,
think they have.
okay.
Interesting.
Well, see at the top, well, some people don't have a mic,
Yeah,
you know, so
they might be
may not have
listening
a
in
mic.
some of the
Some
way.
people shouldn't have a mic.
Yeah, we can do it after the meeting.
Okay, whatever.
I saw your swearing in got posted on social media.
Yeah, is that wrong?
No, it's fantastic. I'm glad you put something up there.
I don't think I posted it, somebody did though.
Oh.
I think it was on the Townsend page or something.
I avoid
I
the
haven't
page
seen it.
like the flag.
Oh, I don't know. Community, whatever.
Sabrina, I wonder if Megan from Nine Cloud is gonna join us.
She, wasn't 100% if she's going to.
Okay.
It is not required.
What is that company? Should we know? Oh, the,
Yeah, 2.1.
okay.
Recording in progress.
Hello, welcome everybody, and welcome to the November 19th, 2024 Select Board meeting. Happy to say we have a full board this evening. I'd like to call the meeting to order and ask for a roll call vote.
Veronica Cal present.
Laura Schifrin present.
And Teresa A. Morse present. I'd like to also thank all our, thinking of Veterans Day that's just passed, thank all our local veterans for their service. And additionally, I want to thank all essential workers, police, fire, hospital, etc., who will not be able to be with their families on this Thanksgiving. We'd like you to know that the Board of Selectmen do thank you for all you do. I'd like to announce that this meeting is being recorded and will be uploaded to YouTube. There are no chairman's additions and deletions. Did anybody else seeing the agenda want to add or delete something?
Do we salute the flag when we start?
You can if you wanted to add something, but you would, no?
No, do we salute the flag?
We have meetings, they were in your package, from meeting minutes from 9/24, 2024, that you, I'm asking for us to review and approve. They, even though you were not at the meeting, if you see anything in the minutes that you don't feel is appropriate, you can ask it to be, redefined. If you have any questions about it, we can take them. So I'd like to make a motion that we approve the meeting minutes from 9/24/2024. So moved. You have to say, Laura?
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes of 9/24/24.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Well, I think I was here, actually.
I think you might.
Yeah, I was here. Okay. I'm good with them.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, anything else?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No. Okay. Moving on to 2.1. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the common victular license change from formerly known as 119 Nutrition Inc., doing business DBA Main Street Nutrition, to Cloud 9 Nutrition, 118 Main Street, with a new sole owner of Megan Robinson.
Could you confirm the dates?
Excuse me?
The street address, was it 118 or 18 Main Street?
18, did I say 118?
Yeah.
I apologize, 18 Main Street.
So moved.
A second.
Any discussion?
No, congratulations to them.
Is there, okay, roll call vote,
Laura Schifrin, yes.
Veronica Kelly, yes.
and Teresa A. Morse, yes. We do not have any appointments or, official, appointments to make at this time. Moving on to 4.1, I'd like to make a motion that we reorganize the board, with myself as sole chair, Veronica as vice chair, and Laura as clerk. Anybody gonna move the motion?
Can we vote the positions one at a time?
We can discuss it, wanna move it and then discuss it?
Sure.
Okay, so who's gonna move it?
So moved.
Second?
Okay. So let's have the discussion. Is there anybody who would like to change that as the motion was read, and what would we like to change it to, and then we can redo the motion if we have to. So let's discuss the position of a clerk. Does anybody have desires to hold the position of clerk?
I'd be happy to be the clerk.
I'll second that.
Okay. And that would put you in the position of vice chair. You okay with that?
I would like to see Laurie as the chair.
Okay. And that would put me in his position as vice chair.
Correct.
Okay.
I would like it noted, and in the, agenda in particular for this evening, cause this is her meeting. I don't think the positions would take place now, that she is the chairman. And could that be made a note of?
But that's not the fact. So that's,
It is
when
the
I
fact.
go to, no, I'm an acting chairman or an interim, but I'm not the chairman, and I would, and, you know, I am arguing that I would ask for your votes to be a chairman until my position runs out in May or even sooner. That's, what why, part of the reason I asked for it, because it's important to me for the years that I've given. And I've been a chairman for 9 years on the school board. I certainly know the duties that are required. You're not gonna be stuck for very long in the chair position anyways, and I just think it's a sign of respect if you appoint me chair. And actually, I don't want it to come off wrong, but it's kinda disrespectful if you
I'm
don't.
okay with that.
My concern is the or sooner.
The what?
The,
I'm sorry, I can't hear.
the or sooner. I guess the,
But then if I leave, if I do have to go sooner, which I'm not sure what's gonna happen, I didn't expect my husband to die
No.
suddenly, so if I do have to go sooner, then you just reorganize the board and vote her in as chair.
I'm okay.
Simple as that.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
okay.
Okay, do we wanna change the motion, or are we okay to move it as is?
I'll be vice chair and Veronica will be clerk.
Okay, so let me
Yes.
repeat my motion. I make a motion that, we assign the Board of Selectmen with me as chair, Lauren as vice chair,
Laura.
sorry, Laura
That's a
as
lot of people
vice
doing it.
chair, and Veronica as clerk. Somebody has to move it.
So moved.
You gonna second, or I'll second? I can second it.
Okay.
Any more discussion?
No.
Okay. Can we have a roll call vote first? We'll start with you, Ronnie.
Veronica Cal, yes.
Laura Schifrin, yes.
And Teresa A. Monshot. Thank you very much, guys, I appreciate it. Okay. I'd like to make an motion that we assign general government liaison select person to this one, Laura, I would like to assign to you. We'll discuss it after when the motion goes through. Public safety liaison to myself, and elected board commission and officials to Veronica.
Okay, I don't agree.
Okay, we'll just say so moved, and we can have a discussion,
So moved.
and I'll second it. Okay, so how would you like it to them to be assigned? Let's discuss that.
My whole thing in running,
Yeah,
was I was coming in as in Chaz's seat, and Chaz was the liaison to most of the boards that I'm on.
okay,
And
so
I
which one's,
I believe that is, I didn't know these terms before.
yeah,
on this
Chaz
list.
was assigned to general government, which is what I signed you to, which is what I thought you wanted. That's the
Chaz
what
was
Chaz.
assigned
No,
to
he was
elected
on
boards,
the
it's on the
elected
paper.
boards. He was elected boards, commissions, and
Oh,
official
I'm
liaison
sorry, I got it
assignments.
confused, I really did.
I think-
I got it confused in my head, the way things were written down.
Teresa, your packet, would actually have the list.
Okay, yeah,
If you.
I got it backwards, so you're right.
I mean, that was my intent.
No, I got it backwards in my head. So, Veronica, I did. Veronica, are you okay with general government?
No, I would prefer public safety.
And I would prefer that she has that, because
Okay, I have
she
no
ran for
problem. Yep.
Joe's seat, so let's just keep all the assignments the same.
They rotate. They
Not
will-
now,
They will
Yeah,
next
I
time.
have
we're
no
filling
problem.
up, well,
I have-
in
yeah.
April, it will rotate.
I have no problem with that, so let's,
I just wanna say that in the liaison policy, there is no specification regarding rotation. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, all right, because
yeah, 'cause
I
I
did
didn't
what I was
rotate now
comfortable
for
with.
three terms, so.
okay, well, I
but
did what
that's
I was
all right.
comfortable with, and really, that's
But
my
I'm fine
expertise.
staying where I am, so let me pull up the, thing that we have,
So that's 4.2.
Yeah.
So you'll see a list.
so.
There we go.
I did that once
You're
before
okay
too
with
in a
Joe's
meeting,
seat, right?
so,
I mean,
I mean,
so
that makes
general
sense.
government is the capital planning, bylaw review, audit committee, historic, public safety is animal control, fire, police, inspector, and elected bodies is board of assessor, board of health, gazebo project, highway department, whatever. So you would like elected bodies,
Yeah, I'll stay with
that.
that.
Veronica, you would like public safety,
Correct.
and I will stay with general government,
Okay.
okay?
Do we
Okay.
need, can I just,
Yeah.
since we're on this, do we need to update this list, for example?
Oh, I think so.
The gazebo project is no longer
Right,
active,
it's over.
correct?
Yeah, this is, it says 10/24, 10/25, but we can, update this
Not
list.
necessarily today, but I think
Right,
that it
okay.
needs to be gone through and, updated.
Okay,
And
so.
I think that there are people who maybe have left who are no longer
Right, we do have some people that have to be it changed on here. I know that the, historical district that, I believe there was a change in leadership there, et cetera. So
Yeah.
we're
I'm
gonna
on
keep
there.
to the general assignments, so where it says here, general government, that will be me, where it says public safety and used to say Joe, that will say Ronnie, and where it says Chaz, that will now be you, but we will update this list, that's gonna go to you, to get this updated for us.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will restate the motion. I make a motion that we assign general, let me see if I can get it right this time, general government liaison to myself, and let's do them one at a time.
Okay. Moved.
So, moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Laura Schifrin, yes.
Do we need a roll call vote for this? We don't, do we?
No, no.
Aye.
Okay.
I entertain a motion to assign public safety liaison to select person Kel.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I entertain a motion to assign elected board commissions and official liaison to
Laura Schifrin.
I was gonna say Lori again, so
That's
I
okay.
added
Or
stuff
Lori, that's okay.
Lori.
So
Lori
moved.
Schifrin.
So moved.
Veronica.
Second.
All those in favor?
Laura Schifrin, yes.
Aye.
And
I'll
Giselle
accept.
A. Marsh, yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, moving on to 4.3. I entertain a motion to approve and sign out of session all 2024 renewals for retail licensed alcohol contingent upon valid certificate of inspection and receipt of required notifications and payment.
So moved.
Second, does it need
Okay,
to say
so can we have-
notifications or documentation, is that important?
I think it's on here, and on the list, don't you have, oh, it doesn't say that, you
says
just have a list that we're gonna
documentation.
do, okay. Yeah, documentation and payment.
Okay.
And
Second.
have you seen the list of all of the ones that this
Yeah,
comes
it's
from?
in the
You
packet.
have looked at your packet, okay. Any other discussion?
No, that's a yearly thing for
Yeah.
clarification?
Correct.
Okay.
And then we'll just, vote, we don't need it to be roll call. All those who approve?
Yes.
Aye, and aye. Okay, all approve? Okay, moving on to 4.4, I entertain a motion to approve and sign out of session all 2024 Class 1, 2, 3 licenses contingent upon receipt of required document and payment.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
No.
Is this also yearly, just for clarification?
Correct.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. 4.5, approve and sign out of session all 2024 renewals for common vicular, I can never say it, licenses contingent upon,
Receipt.
receipt of required documentation and payment.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Again, is that
Annual.
yearly?
Yes.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. 4.6, approve and sign out of session all 2024 renewals for entertainment licenses continue on receipt of required documentation and payments.
So moved. And it's annual as well, right?
Can I ask a question? This is backing it up, I'm sorry.
Can we get a
For
second and then
4.5?
discuss?
Sure.
I'll second it, okay, yeah, discussion.
My discussion is on 4.5, so maybe we need to back up.
Okay.
Do you wanna go ahead with 4.6 and then, move
Okay.
back to 4.5.
Okay, let's finish up 4.6, which is the entertainment licenses. Any discussion on that?
Did I second that?
I seconded it.
Okay, good.
Any discussion? Okay,
No.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And aye. Okay, there's been a request to remove back to 4.6,
This is
4.5.
I'm looking down at the bottom, 119 nutrition doing business on 18 Main Street. Didn't we just change
Yes.
that? So should this one be on the list?
The original renewal did go out to 119 nutrition, the change came afterwards.
So are
The
we
renewal was
granting
sent.
both, or what?
No, renewal was sent to 119 nutrition, but then they changed the owner, so
Okay,
there's no renewal for them. but
Okay,
it's
so
on the
no
list 'cause it
renewal
was
there.
sent out.
the
But
other
she's
one
changing
is-
her name. This is a change of name, right?
Name and
Or
owner.
DBA.
Name and owner,
The owner is also changing on
Yeah.
that one.
but it was
That's what
after it was
we-
sent out.
that
so
was
the list
item
was sent-
2.1.
was sent out.
That
Yeah.
was also a change of owner.
So it's a new license now.
This
instead
is
of
a new
renewal.
license,
A new
okay.
license
So
that-
that'll be
instead of a renewal.
eliminated then off the
that
list.
just won't
So
be-
next year, there will
Okay.
be Cloud9 on there.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks. And the other one I was looking for is on here, that was McDonald's, which is sometimes, anyway, okay.
You
thank
good?
Yes, I'm good.
Okay, 4.7, I entertain a motion to approve and sign out of session the ABCC seasonal population estimate form for zero population.
I'll say, okay.
Yeah,
so
somebody
moved.
needs to move.
I moved it.
Second,
Okay, let's have a discussion. What exactly is the, I
Right.
couldn't find this, the ABCC renewal certificate.
Sabrina?
The seasonal population estimation form is sent out with the renewals every year for the alcohol licenses.
Alcohol?
Yes, for the ABCC governs the alcohol licenses. And that form gets sent out every year with the renewal documentations, and it has to be signed by the board or signed out of session like we do here. And just certify that there's no seasonal population increase in the town,
No,
which
I
there
think
isn't. Historically, we've had 0 there, so.
right.
Okay.
I think that in the packet, the pages are switched, which might be the confusion.
Oh, the
4.8 is the seasonal population.
oh, yeah,
Um,
the certification is also getting sent out.
Okay,
next
okay,
week.
yeah.
And
then
that's just to
4.7.
certify,
Okay,
yeah,
so this is 4.7 and this is 4.8.
yeah.
Okay.
So both forms are required by the ABCC to be signed off by the board. And then it gets sent back with all the renewal forms.
Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Piece of.
I did move.
Did we move it and second it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we had to
that's
move it to
all.
ask her
Okay.
that question.
We were talking, right,
Yeah, we
after
can't,
asking
we
the
can't be
question.
sort of talking about it unless it's been moved.
okay.
Okay, 4.8, to approve and sign, I entertain a motion to approve and sign out of session the ABCC renewal certificate for 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
No, it goes hand in hand with the other form.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And aye. 4.9, I entertain a motion to approve the Thanksgiving and Christmas schedule for the town of Townsend Town Hall as follows. Wednesday, 11/27, closing at 12, Thursday, 11/28, closed, Friday, 11/29, closed, 12/24, closing at 12, and 12/25, closes.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
How does this fit with the contracts?
This is in line with it.
Okay.
Yes, correct, so we just, it's really more, of a FYI for you guys, cause I mean, it's already in everyone's contract basically. So we're just letting you know, ahead of time that, you know, during the Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays, town hall is gonna be closed.
It will impact, agenda, we'd have to get our agenda adjusted, it has to be adjusted quarterly, cause it has to be a certain time period before the office closes at noon, that comes into the time period, correct?
You mean for posting like
Yeah.
meeting, yes, correct, and,
Correct.
you know, the town clerk is aware of, this schedule, so they're gonna,
Right, so-
plan accordingly.
So we should be, saying if you have anything for the agenda, we're gonna have to plan accordingly.
Correct.
Okay, no other discussion? Okay, the vote?
Aye.
And aye. Okay, where were we? Okay, 4.10, I put it in front of you if you didn't have it and printed it out for you, but, it's right over there, yeah. I entertain a motion to accept the Board of Selectmen meeting schedule and, as handed to you, and I will read it into record. I put one out for all of you and I lost mine, but it's here. Oh,
You can have that.
okay.
I just wanna know, is this, now, I know in the past, the, Board of Selectmen meet when they need to meet too. They don't just stick to the schedule, or sometimes it gets canceled, another one. So that's still in play, right?
Correct.
If for some reason you need an additional meeting, or you decide not to have one of them, that's still okay, even though you've set the meeting.
Right,
Okay,
so
thank
let's
you.
get this moved first, let me finish this motion, get this moved, and then we can finish the discussion. Okay, so, I, entertain a motion to accept the Board of Selectmen meeting schedule as follows: 1/7, 1/21, 2/4, 2/18, 3/4, 3/18, 4/8, 4/22, 5/6, 5/20, 6/10, 6/24, 7/8, 7/22, and the chairman always has the discretion to ask the board for additional meetings or to modify the meetings as needed.
Move, I so moved.
Do I have a second?
Second, yeah.
Okay, any further discussion?
Yeah, I wanna know if we've taken into consideration, things like school vacation weeks or weeks with holidays, those sorts of things, in setting this, or is this just, going through and doing the first and the third?
It is just essentially the first and third Tuesday every.
So it may change.
Yeah, which we
It
can
could
certainly,
change.
we can certainly do that, if something comes up, but this just been.
In June though, in June, the first Tuesday, if I'm looking at the right year, is the third, not the 10th. And the, third is the 17th.
Oh, okay.
I'm okay with, if we're doing the 10th and the 24th, I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with the other way.
So, I know that it's possible that I'm not gonna be able to make either the 20th or the 3rd. So, but the first and the third in June is June 3rd and
Okay.
June 17th. So I didn't know if there was a reason for,
That was a
for
typo.
switching
Okay.
there.
So I think, for the sake of being consistent, we probably should do the first and third.
And July is
Tuesday.
the same.
Yeah.
Because July is, the first Tuesday is the 1st of July, and the third Tuesday is the 15th.
Good catch.
That's why I brought my calendar.
I didn't look at it, I'm sorry.
You know, if we wanted, the 4th of July is that first week, the week of the 1st, so if there's, you know,
A reason for that. We have plenty of
we
time
don't
to change
have-
it though.
right, we do,
We do.
So just keep it like this, even though we switch to the 2nd and the 4th? in June and July?
We can change that.
That's up to you guys, I have those
I know,
dates
I
are wide
know.
open for me, so.
I would,
And actually, those are after the election, so.
Yeah.
That is true,
So,
She doesn't
that's
care.
up to you two to decide, so.
I would probably change the June and July dates just to be consistent.
To be consistent.
And then if we decide to change after April or whatever, looking at the schedule again, it can be done,
Yeah.
looking
Yeah.
closer at
Alright,
Correct.
so let's do
holiday
the,
and whatnot.
6/03 and 6/17.
Yeah, and 7/1 and 7/15.
So that's a move to amend, and I'll second it.
I can't move in second, you can move.
I'll second.
Second. Any
Oh,
further discussion?
okay,
on
I'll
one
move
thing?
to amend as was stated.
And I will second the motion to
Amendment.
amend, yes.
Okay, any further discussion?
Did Jared, you wanna?
About the calendar?
Yes,
Okay,
you changing to the second Tuesday of the month?
No, we
No.
just
No.
talked about that.
Okay,
They-
because that's FinCom.
Right, no, they,
We're
it was
changing back.
accidentally
You're
typed
typing.
in
Yeah, there
as the
was
second
typo.
Tuesday, we're
Okay,
changing
alright.
it
Sorry.
back to the first.
I know.
Thank you, Derek.
Chairman, what did
Glad
you
to
want?
see you looking good.
Thank you, I feel better.
Cha-
Good.
Chairman Teresa.
Okay,
Chairman
so we're
Morris.
back to the first and third.
Sabrina
Sabrina
has
and
a
Oh,
question.
do
What
each
was,
of them.
what was the vote for July?
Also the first and third.
The
So
first,
it's
and
June,
the 15th.
July first and July 15th. Any further discussion? Okay. So all those approve?
Aye.
And aye. Okay, I entertain a motion to auction/sell the following town-owned property parcel as read into the record. So the property that we're talking about, the list is quite long. Is this what we're talking about, the entire list?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. So the property at,
Would you like me to read this?
yes, go ahead, thank you,
Okay.
I appreciate it. You know the book.
Yeah, I do. Cause it was town properties that
You
did
can't
this
see
and I
the-
chaired it.
The number.
Okay, so, the following properties were recommended by the Town Properties Committee. And that was, these are all town-owned properties. 1 acreage, 2.5 acres on New Fitchburg Road, map 10, lot 20, or block 20, lot 0. Vacant land was, taken by the town for tax. The first recommendation is to offer to sell it to the Commonwealth. These, for the most part, they're either
Oh,
gonna.
you can't discuss till you read it into record and move it, so just read
I'll
it into
explain
record
it.
and then we'll
Okay.
discuss, thank you.
Alright, 7.5 acres off Cherry Drive, map 16, block 44, lot 0, vacant land. 0.46 acre on Cherry Drive, map 16, block 49, lot 114. 0.46 on Cherry Drive, map 16, block 49, lot 115. 32 acres on South Row Road, assessors map, map 25, block 3, lot 0. 1.20 acres on Adams Road, map 27, block 33, lot 0. 0.46 Adams Road, map 27, block 34. 0.51 on Whitley Lane, map 28, block 12, lot 0. 1.5 acres, 1.5 acres on Meadow Road, map 28, block 38, lot 0. 0.92 acre, Meadow Road, map 28, block 49, lot 6. 1.3 acres on Main Street, map 3, block 6, lot 0. 9 acres on Shirley Road, map 40, block 2. 0.5 acres on Edward Road, 42, map 42, block 1, lot 54. And 1 acre on Worcester Road, map 49, block 20, lot 0.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, discussion, do you wanna tell
I
us
can-
more behind this?
Yeah, I can explain. Okay, so the first block on the lot on New Fitchburg Road, the recommendation is to offer to sell to the Commonwealth. The, off Cherry Drive, 7.5 acres, recommendation, for the next 4, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The next 9 parcels, which go from off Cherry Drive to the Meadow Road, that I spoke of, are all recommended to be auctioned. And then,
And it looks like the 3 Cherry Drive, parcels, they should all go as a group, I guess they.
probably,
That
yes.
was your recommendation.
Yes.
So those 3, on
well, they
Cherry.
all like abut each other, you're right,
Yeah,
so
yep.
that's the best way to go on that one. And then somebody might, it's a wetlands area, by wetlands, I mean, it's not, if you put them all together, you might get 1 lot,
Mhm.
okay, kind of thing, so that was the discussion. And then Main Street and Shirley Road, yes, okay, so will be offered to the Commonwealth first, and usually that's Fish and Wildlife is what the recommendation was. And then if they don't buy it, auction is recommended. I think it's the same, my copy didn't print off very well, but I think it's the same recommendation on the top one on New Fitchburg Road as well.
Yes.
And then, the last 2, Edward Road, which Town Properties looked into before, and so did, the Housing Authority, because they were trying to get a Habitat house on that one, and it just couldn't happen.
It's only a half acre.
Yeah.
If it's wet, there's.
Right.
It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, so they tried, and so auction, it might go to one of the abutters. Somebody might, that's the first thought, that we might get more tax revenue if an abutter bought it, okay? And then Worcester Road is, kind of the same thing, to put that to auction.
So I have a question, did the Properties Committee talk to Fish and Wildlife or DCR about these?
No,
Because there is a land committees meeting that happens twice a year. And they need to be aware, they need to be aware of it, so it goes to the lands committee to get approval to purchase if they're interested in it.
so that's from this body here, so Nelson would call them and say, we have these, and when is their date?
Typically there's one in the fall, probably has already happened.
Okay,
It's
so
around
spring.
October, and then the next one is around June timeframe.
Oh,
May, June, I don't know exactly, but, typically there are 2, land committee meetings where they approve purchases of things like this.
okay.
So, I'm just saying that those 3 could be a delay if in fact the state is interested. Are you offering them to recommending they be offered to the state because they abut other, parcels that are already owned by
I
the
think
state?
so. When we
Because
looked at the
that
maps.
would make it,
Right.
if it doesn't abut, if it's just a landlocked, like this 32 Southwell Road, which is a landlocked 32 acres.
Right.
But it looks like that abuts the Rod and Gum. Has anybody talked to Rod and Gun Club
I
about
think that? it was mentioned at the meeting, so,
It's
no.
landlocked, and so.
No, we would not have done that. The recommendation was only to the Board of Selectmen.
Okay.
So we would not have done that, but in looking at the maps, and Kevin's on it, and, people who know the land, or have walked the land before,
Mhm.
cause we've done that too, recommended that. Cause in the past meetings, we recommended transfer to conservation on a number of parcels. But this time around, this is how we came up with, cause
Yeah,
we could tell
unless-
those right away.
You have auction, but unless it's an abutter that purchases, because it's landlocked, or unless there's an easement across one of these other properties, there's no access to that property.
Right.
So, okay.
When these do go up for auction, other than the article in the paper, do the abutters get notified?
Yes.
Yes.
They do.
Okay.
So Rod and Gun would be notified
Yes.
that this property is available. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Any further discussion? Okay, all those approved?
Aye.
Aye.
And moving on to
That's why I wanted to put it on the agenda.
Yeah, finally, it's gotta go.
4.2, I entertain a motion to take no action on the right of first refusal for parcel ID 17-10-0-27 Bayberry Hill Road.
Is that what we would do, or we're just,
We have to
we
move
wouldn't
to
do it?
discuss.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll make a motion. I'll move the
So
motion.
Second. Okay, discussion?
Why?
We have the right of first refusal because it was in,
But why take no action on the
yeah,
very
why take
first-
no action?
The assessor's office looked at it and there was no reason to exercise our.
That's what I was told.
Yeah.
So why is the motion to take no action? Why isn't the motion to, not exercise our right of first refusal? Because it seems to me that then
We
you
have the
would
right
have
of
to
first
come.
refusal, and we should say yes or no.
Correct.
Right,
Yeah.
so, but.
So I just question the wording on this.
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
It's almost like a
exercise
double
the right.
negative in a way, so, what would be,
The planning board
Okay,
and the
so-
conservation already looked at it too.
So I'm
Yeah,
not,
we
Planning board and
can- I had it at
conservation,
planning.
yeah, there's no action from
No
them.
action.
yeah,
But
so,
That
the
was
board
the
would need to
recommendation.
vote on no,
it is to take no action.
No, planning
no,
board's.
when you take no,
No, that wasn't the planning board's recommendation.
I thought that was the recommendation from Ward, that we take no action.
I think that the wording that we want is different from take no action. I think we're saying the same thing. But I think we want to say that we move that the town not exercise
It's their
its
right of first
first
refusal.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, then that's what I agree with, cause I think we said at planning that, the town doesn't have the money anyway, so it's like we're gonna go and buy it, but they have to present it to the town and we have to say no.
Cause it's chapter 61.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I amend the motion to read that I entertain a motion that we refuse
No, that we not exercise.
not exercise the right
Right.
of
First refusal.
first refusal for parcel ID 17-10-0-27 Bayberry Hill Road.
Perfect, and I move that.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And aye. Okay. Moving on. Four point 13, I entertain a motion to approve the conservation fee schedule as proposed October 23rd, 2024. Do you have that in front of you?
Yep.
Okay.
Is there anyone from the Conservation Commission here?
No, I didn't end up inviting.
question first?
Did they-
I move the question, I mean, yes,
Second?
make a motion.
Okay, do we have anybody online from the Conservation Commission? I don't see it, but, okay.
So did they ask this to be brought forward
They
for
did.
approval?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. They approved the commission, the Conservation Commission.
They
Okay.
voted on this.
Correct.
So moved.
Yeah,
Second.
any more discussion?
Oh, did we already move and discuss, or no?
No, we were in the discussion
Okay.
phase. Any further discussion? You see the September rates from 2023, and you can see the increase in the October rates 2024, if you would like to check the deltas on them. I can't speak to, the, Conservation Commission, but I do tend to know that anybody who volunteers, in these towns on the boards, I usually follow any recommendations they present before the board, so I would support their recommendations. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, moving on to work session. We'll start with the.
no,
Oh,
no,
did I miss
four
one?
fourteen, the,
Oh, I
town
don't have
meeting,
a book
fall,
here. I'm sorry, it's there.
fall town.
Oh, yes, I entertain, do we have a date we're recommending?
We do, so I've spoken to, Kathy and doing some backtracking, you know, because of posting deadlines and whatnot. I recommend Tuesday, January 28th, 2025 as the fall town meeting. It's not really the fall, so
Okay,
I don't
so
know,
let's- yeah.
I don't know really
Let's
what-
get the
Yeah,
motion
'cause we
moved and
didn't have
seconded,
a
and then we can
Right.
discuss. Okay, I entertain a motion to set the fall town meeting date for January 28th, 2025.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Go ahead, can you
Yeah,
tell
yeah.
me how you came up with that date?
Yep,
please?
so, you know, so like I said, we had to do some backtracking because there's a 2-week posting time that's required. Town council needs to review it, and we also need to open the warrant as well. So I kept backtracking, and I ended up with January 28th. And the way I think the schedule is gonna work out with the January 28th date is that, we would open the warrant on December 4th, and then we would close it, at the end of business, December 16th.
Okay, and do we already have some ideas of items for the warrant?
All the properties that we just spoke about, those can all
Have to
go
go on them.
on separate articles.
Do the licenses go on the warrant, the renewals? I don't think so.
No.
Do they?
No,
Okay,
no.
just wanted to.
Will free cash be certified by then?
It would be, correct.
Okay.
So we can, put an article in there as well.
And I know you already said it, but what was the date of closing of the warrant?
The 16th.
The 16th at 4 p.m. And that's a good time to close it because we tentatively have a Board of Selectmen meeting on the 17th. So we can discuss all the articles that, folks have put forth at that meeting on December 17th.
Okay.
And then once we discuss things, we're okay with it, we can then send it to town council to review. And that should give, them plenty of time, for, the warrant to be posted on January 14th.
So when if we want we don't have a meeting between the 3rd and the 17th. The warrant is already closed, so we as a board haven't been able to provide input to the warrant.
Well.
We have December 3rd.
well,
December 3rd?
The warrant opens on the 4th.
Correct. You were looking for, input on articles?
Correct.
Let me see.
I would just.
Can you open it earlier?
Um,
warrant?
Could we open it on the 2nd Or could we close it on the 18th?
All those are in play, so, that's why I wanted to have the discussion. It's only moving it a couple days, so that's not really gonna affect too much, so, if that makes sense for everyone, I think that.
I would like to open it before, earlier. Closing it on the 16th is fine, as long as we've had a meeting during the time period that the warrant is open.
Okay,
Can you open it the second?
yeah, we could.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that kind of leads to something slightly different, which is you wanted to,
It's further down on the agenda.
yeah, so I
Yes.
think we need to talk about it now then, right?
Okay, yeah.
So I think we tentatively have a Board of Selectmen meeting on December 3rd. Veronica says she has a prior engagement that she can't make it. She was hoping to have that meeting on December 2nd.
Correct. If you guys are available for this.
Yeah, because I have planning on the 9th.
Oh,
Wait a minute,
good.
wait a minute. Yes, that's okay, because I also have some information to add from planning board regarding the warrant, but I'll get to that.
Okay, so warrant opens on the 2nd, and can we move the date, the meeting to a Monday instead of a Tuesday that week?
So we're still, I'll have to move things around, but I will. But we're still, if we open the warrant, we're really not gonna have that much, we're not gonna see that much.
So are we
On the
making a
2nd.
motion today to open the warrant on the 2nd? Or can we open the warrant on the 2nd in our meeting?
No, why wouldn't we make the motion today and give notice?
That's what I thought
We
needed
could
to
do that today.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
I mean, you
what-
could open the,
Right, but
you
if we
could vote,
open it,
you could vote.
what
on-
is the earliest, we can
Yeah,
have a
what's the
January
earliest?
28th meeting and open the warrant, if we keep the meeting at January 28th?
There's no time frame of how long.
We don't have to have a set amount of days to open the warrant from
Well,
the
I-
time we say it?
Well, I think, typically we give folks 2 weeks, for the warrant period.
Okay.
So you wanna maybe time it, so that you can, I mean, you can discuss things after the warrant closes, or are you talking about?
But it's not.
Well, if we open it on the 2nd, and then we can have a discussion of anything that,
On the 3rd.
No,
No,
we have
on
the
the
meeting
2nd.
on the 2nd.
Yeah.
That's what I
Oh,
thought.
our meeting on the 2nd, okay.
and we can have a discussion of warrant articles, like you'll know, hopefully by then, what we have for free cash tentatively, possibly. And what we need to
possible,
do, like, are we moving money back to stabilization, is that one of the articles? Are there bills that we know about that need to be paid, that haven't been paid, I mean.
What about the ARPA funds?
That's a separate matter, yeah. and-
That doesn't go on town meeting, that's
Okay.
voted by us in a meeting.
Okay, let's get back to this. So we're looking at entertaining a motion to set the full town meeting date for January 28th, 2024, with opening warrants 2 weeks from today, which would be December 2nd. It's giving the 2 weeks, which you say could be less, it's not mandatory that it's 2 weeks.
It could be longer, honestly.
Okay.
The more time you give folks,
Yeah.
you know,
Okay,
the
and then
better.
closing December 16th.
I'd even close it on the 18th.
I would,
Are we
or
m-
the 17th, after our meeting.
After our meeting.
And the reason for
Okay.
that is, what if we determine, we review the warrant on the 17th, and we decide we need to add something to it, that we're missing something?
And so
we
open on
would
the
have,
2nd
it's already
and-
closed,
And
so,
closing on the 18th.
or the 17th, in our meeting on the
Say
17th.
say
The-
by
I-
5 o'clock on the 17th.
On meetings on
Well, you
Those
said
are-
you wanted to potentially add something, so
Yeah, if that's
you
our meeting.
would have to give, so we should give ourselves an extra day. and close
Okay,
it on
the 18th, yeah,
18th.
okay.
Okay.
So moved?
So moved for
Second.
December 2nd opening.
Any further discussion?
Well, wait, let's get the dates in.
Clarifying,
Yep.
clarifying, December
That's what
2nd
discussion
to
is.
open the warrant and close the warrant on December 18th.
Correct.
And the meeting will be January 28th, what time?
What do they typically?
Usually
Six,
7.
7 or
seven.
7:30, 7.
Sometimes it's 6, sometimes it's 7, that's what it is.
We
Okay.
usually have it at
Seven.
You know what?
7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
And aye. Okay. Now, town administrator updates and reports.
So the energy electricity aggregation program, most folks have probably seen the informational sessions as well as the information that was mailed to each household. We've had one live in-person informational session at the senior center as well as 2 virtual Zoom meetings to let everyone know what the program's about and then ask any questions they may have. The deadline is tomorrow to opt out because everyone is essentially, enrolled in the program, unless you currently have another electricity supplier. At that point, you're not automatically enrolled. So folks have until tomorrow to opt out or sort of change their rate plan, because right now there's 3 rate plans, and there's plus and basic, and let me see what else it's called. Yeah, it's called the standard, basic, and plus. The standard is the one everyone would automatically be enrolled in. The basic is fraction of a cent cheaper, and then the plus is a little bit more expensive because it's all using renewable energy. So got a lot of good feedback regarding that, because the rates that we've negotiated are significantly less than the Unitil rates. So so folks have until tomorrow to opt out. But they can always opt back in, opt back out as many times as they want, but you can only do it once a month.
Yeah, and I just wanna send a general reminder out there, you might have a long time ago signed out to get away from Unitil being your provider, went to another provider when people were sending out flyers and stuff, so just check your bill and make sure, because you can probably make significant savings by opting in now while we're on here. So if Unitil isn't your provider, you are not automatically opt into the program. So just make sure you take a look at that, and I highly recommend you look at the benefits of joining.
Let me see, there was a school budget forum last night at the high school. Folks from Ashby, Townsend, and Pepperell were invited. Representative Scarsdale, State Senator Cronin, and State Senator Kennedy were also in attendance. It was a pretty heated forum at times, but the TAs as well as the school department, led by Superintendent Brad Morgan, presented sort of our issues. As a town, we really can't grow the budget by any more than say 3%. Otherwise, that's heading into like override territory. And from Brad's perspective, there's all kinds of federal and state mandated programs and programs that they have to follow. But unfortunately, a lot of these mandates aren't funded at all. So it's really left to the school district and ultimately the taxpayers to fund these mandates. So it really has gotten to the point where towns can't afford it any longer. That's why we're having these overrides year after year, asking the taxpayers to pay for the increases. So, it got pretty heated at times because there's rumors going around that there's building closures, meaning school closures, and, everyone thinks, Ashby Elementary is on the chopping block. It's a rumor, but, there was a pretty vocal contingent there from the Ashby community last night.
What did the superintendent say? What was his answer to that?
He was only, directed by the school committee last Friday to look at, cost reductions, and so he hasn't had time to really.
Well, he did accurately say, he does not make that decision. That is not decision of the superintendent. He can make recommendations, but that is decided by the, school board.
So where is the state's position, because we're in most of this mess because the state has not given the funds
They
for the
redid the
regional
funds
school.
to when they redid the formula, regional schools got basically wiped out of the formula, and the new formula really, highlighted, inner city and rural both schools. So that's where the focus was, in the formula. The formula we're stuck with for at least another year. They did verbalize that they are working hard to make changes to the formula, and, the superintendent made it very clear that unless they do something, that we are gonna continue to have this problem year after year after year. There was one, piece of information that helped, about possibly not having to have a seat for every child on a bus. That might come faster, cause that's a large expense. If kids don't ride the bus, we still have to have a seat for them. So, that might come a little faster, so. Don't think that was the two highlights I took away.
Yeah, it's really.
Ronnie, you were there, did you take away anything?
A lot of Student Opportunity Act, we're in year 5 of 6.
Yeah.
And those funds are going largely to gateway cities. John Cronin had noted that Leominster and Fitchburg have more money than they can spend for their schools.
More and more money.
But what struck me was what Andrew McCollum from Pepperell, in his presentation, he noted that from 2001 to 2024, our state funding has increased $523,000.
2.5%.
Yeah, and in other places it's been in the 36 million. It was 75% for them. For us, this very small amount.
And when you come down to it, it was like $60 a child in 5 years.
Yeah.
Increase.
Yes.
We got from the state.
In not 5 years, in 15 years.
Oh, 15,
20,
sorry.
20 years,
Yeah.
from 2001 to 2024. So Representative Scarsdale, we are not the only ones in this situation. There are 211 communities,
Sure.
not all of whom are regional, but they tend to be towns that are I call them the forgotten towns in Massachusetts. We don't have large industrial bases. We don't have roads that come in and out that would allow industry to come in. And these are the towns that have been left out of the funding formula.
So they are looking for a circuit breaker for the 211. They actually call them the 211, and there is some work being done around that as well.
Yeah, so there, 3 things that are being looked at: the transportation, the circuit breaker, and minimum per pupil aid, which is that formula.
Correct.
So I think that all 211 towns should have a coordinated letter writing campaign to the governor, that we should get in buses and go pick a day sometime and go and do that. It's similar to what we did for the pipeline, when the pipeline was coming through town. And maybe then we'll get the attention of the State House. But Representative Scarsdale is she has assembled a coalition and they are working on making this issue known in the legislature. So, things at the state though take time. That's all I'll say. It's not instant.
And time is money.
Okay, anything else?
I got a few more. So, ARPA funding, just to sort of, set the stage, the way, the ARPA funding deadline, is set up, you can either spend all the money by the end of December 31st, 2024, or you have until December 31st, 2026, to spend it if they are either personnel expenses, because you can't pay salaries a year into the future. But if you set that money aside with the intention for paying for certain positions, that's allowed. Or if you have a contract in place to purchase goods or services, that would sort of that would mean you don't have to spend everything by the end of this calendar year. So at the moment, I am working through the list. Certain projects have been completed. There's some money left over. And once I get a good handle on what that looks like, I can then come to the board probably at the next meeting with a plan of reallocating some of that money elsewhere within some of those projects. There's one or two projects that might be over budget at the moment, so I think I can come up with a plan to sort of square everything away. But the last thing I want to do is send money back that we can.
Well, we have places where it could be used.
There
in
are.
Safety.
Yeah, depending on how you want to spend it, I don't know if there's really any extra money, so to speak, left over, but because some projects are a little bit over budget. So once I get a clear handle on the status of each project, I can make recommendations based off of that.
I also want to note that there are 3 ARPA policies that were set by the selectmen when these funds came to the town. They're in the selectmen's policies on the website. It's the ARPA expenditure form, the ARPA allocation reallocation form, and the ARPA sub-recipient policy. The reporting that's required by the federal government, and this gets reported directly to the federal government. It isn't through the state the way the COVID relief funds were. The movement of money from when it was initially allocated has to be documented. So we set up those forms way back when. You can look at the policies. It was when the funds originally came in. So for everything that is moved, there should be a form for that to show where it went or what it's being spent on. So just to point that out. Also, the town had engaged Capital CSS,
Capital
Strategic Solutions, to help. They do the reporting for the town, and the ARPA funds have specific uses. So you have to look and see what the latest direction is from the Treasury Department for these funds. And CSS was the one that helped us with all of our allocations and reallocations, keeps us on track, the town on track. I don't know for the past year and a half what has happened, but I know during the 3 years, 2 of which we had ARPA funds. That was the case, and we had a contract with them. ARPA funds can be used to pay for the accounting because it's a massive amount of work that isn't part of the normal treasurer's or accountant's jobs. So it's allowed to pay for a consultant, and so we have a contract with them.
So, like I said, between between now and probably the next, BOS meeting, I'll have a solid plan in place to, you know, reallocate some funds to cover some deficits. And if there's any, extra money left over, we can probably decide at that point what we wanna do with it. I don't anticipate it being a ton of money left over, but, you know, I won't really know for sure, so no promises, but, I'll certainly bring it to your attention once I, look into everything.
Okay, thank you. So December 2nd, ARPA on the agenda.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So the FY '26 budget season is right around the corner. Typically around early December, the TA would send out a budget memo to all the department heads, you know, sort of outlining what I'm looking from them, and then setting some deadlines as well. I don't think the budget memo is gonna change too much from previous years. I think the request is level funded, level service, budget submittals. No additional, you know, new positions being added, no new stipends, anything of that sort. So, you know, we're just, you know, we don't have a ton of money to go around, so I think that's sort of the general tone of the memo. And so departments will probably get, you know, a little more than a month to get that submitted to me. So that's on the operating side as well, as well as the capital side. The capital side is typically a 5-year lookout. And then once I had time to sort of input everything, you know, we'll start scheduling meetings, you know, in conjunction, you know, with the finance committee, which I believe culminates in a big, you know, meeting.
Budget summit.
Yeah, budget summit, late February, early March.
I would, if the budgets require an override ask, I think it would be good to do the budget summits earlier rather than later. I know that at last night's meeting, Brad Morgan was talking about doing you know, asking at a meeting in March or something.
Yeah, that was certainly pretty aggressive in terms of asking for a potential override town meeting. I'm not sure that's really possible, but yeah, the sooner we can sort of work the options, you know, we won't be you know, surprised if the final school assessment number comes in, you know, high.
So December 2nd, we'll have the budget memo to review, and
Yeah, and I can send it out the morning of the 3rd, so.
okay, all right, and then the departments will have a month to look at. It's usually the first week in January that they need to get things back to you.
Yeah, so I'm thinking probably like January 6th, which is a Monday, so it gives folks, you know, a little more than a month to, but you know, if they started early, they could conceivably finish up before the holidays started. Let me see. Yeah, so I should have a draft memo for you guys on December 2nd. Like I said, it's not gonna really be that much different than past years, cause seems like every year we're sort of under the same budget constraints.
And we're going to talk about in the past community.
Oh, the Community Preservation Act.
Correct.
I think there's still a lot of questions regarding how that's sort of set up and how it would operate. I think a lot of it, is gonna be a town meeting, so, in terms of, the committee itself, how many people end up being on this committee. I know there's, 5 required members. One is from the Conservation Commission, Planning Board, Historic District Commission, Housing
And-
Authority, and Parks and Cemetery.
And you're thinking that that committee needs to be voted on the January 28th meeting?
No, not necessarily. I think, a regular town meeting might be better suited for something like this.
But it wouldn't be just put together here by the Board of Selectmen?
No, I don't think so.
No, I think someone has to put forth the article itself.
That's, see, on the CPA does not go into effect until the fiscal 26.
Correct. But you probably need to start, like,
Yeah,
getting
start educating people
start
on it.
getting the committee together, have them, start discussing things. Or at least, get it together.
There are already a lot of questions out about it, so we gotta stop the rumors and get the questions answered.
Yeah.
It'll
And-
be fiscal year 27 till the town realizes any funds really from state match.
True.
So the committees, the direction of the committee is to look at projects. I mean, I suppose the year in FY 26 people could, if the committee received it, they could, figure out how they're gonna collect proposals for projects, how they're gonna evaluate projects, those sorts of things. But anyway. The makeup is state mandated?
Let me
Yes.
see here.
'Cause
Well, it's
we don't have it in our charter.
So it's between 5 and 9 members. So, the 5 that I mentioned, had to be part of, those
Particular
various boards and
And
commissions.
then at large?
Correct, yeah. So you have to, at town meeting the voters will need to decide how they want, how, the
How big?
committee, how the committee is gonna comprise. And I don't know all the details regarding that right now, but, we certainly have time.
Some time,
Yeah.
The other thing is Pepperell and Shirley have both passed the CPA, prior to the year we did.
Yeah.
And so we can always look and see at what
And
they're doing.
air. There's a few.
Yeah, a lot of towns, cities and towns have passed them.
Yeah.
From the staffing perspective, there's a lot of exemptions that, are in place. For example, the first $100,000 of your property value are exempt from the CPA 1%.
So if I may, assessors address this because of the same thing. And so we looked at what other towns had it, and because we thought this was gonna be a nightmare, but there's already software in place
Yeah.
from the state.
Yep.
So,
Yeah,
It's been around a long time.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
so,
Yeah, I
running
know.
smoothly.
yeah,
So-
it'll be new to us, so I think there'll be a
Yeah.
little bit of a learning curve, and I think at the moment, we're just a little bit jittery about it, but I think.
But
it'll-
the others have more experience.
Yeah,
And they're like-sized towns,
Yeah,
so.
so I think we can certainly lean on some neighboring cities and towns for some advice to provide to us, since this is our first go around.
And they have it in Westford where Vicky does her work on Fridays.
Oh, I thought she was Dunstable.
Dunstable.
Yeah.
They have it there. They've had it for a while, but theirs is 3% and there's no deductible. And they've had it for a while. They have one more.
Anything else?
I think the last thing was, the town charter, the new town charter has been officially, signed in to law by the governor's office, and I think John Page might be here to, speak about that.
Yeah, I was trying to get him up, and then I got him down, and then I got him up, and then I had him hold.
John, is that you?
I think that's John, yeah.
I think,
He needs
John's on here,
unmuted.
probably, yeah.
They need
Hartley,
unmuted.
can we, unmute John?
He'll come up once he's.
Is that
There
the
you
John
go.
that
Thank
John's
you.
like that? Yes.
Hi,
okay,
John.
he's unmuted.
Hey, John.
Thanks, Nelson.
Of course.
Just to provide a little bit of history, more than 6 years ago, the then sitting Board of Selectmen complied with their charter responsibility and put together a committee to review the town charter. 9 people representing different areas of town government, as well as some at-large stuff, and they worked hard for years. And finally, as we thought we got close, there was changes in the legislators, but it went through several trips up and down the halls of the House of Representatives and up and down the halls of the state Senate, and even took me into Beacon Hill to talk to the folks as to why this was really important. And finally, we're now 6+ years later, the charter review has been approved by the governor. I know, at least I understand that it's going to be on the town website as soon as they figure out how to do that. But in the meantime, if you search the chapter 229 of the Acts of 2024, you can find all of the language that was changed and what is now our Constitution. It was signed by the governor on the 8th of November, and it would take effect immediately. And so that's the body that we're now functioning under. And I guess I performed my duties as the shepherd of the charter.
Quite well, John, quite well.
And so it was a labor of love, but we got it going. Unfortunately, we may have to do this again in a couple of years. and I can assure you that although I'll provide any input, I'm not sitting on that committee again.
Well, I personally want to thank you for all you did for the town. It was quite the Herculean effort, as you said.
Thank you, John.
Thank
You were an
Thank you, John.
excellent shepherd. We appreciate it.
Thank you for the thanks.
Okay, anything else?
That's it for me. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on, we have a couple of announcements. First of all, the resignation of Joan Wakarowitz has submitted her resignation as a member of the Shovelwild and Scenic Stewardship Council effective January 26th. We have the copy of the letter here. As always, one of my favorite events in Townsend, we have the tree lighting on the Common, Sunday, December 1st at 4:30. Music will be available and complimentary stew at the church as well. It's always well attended, and hope to see you all there. The chili is to die for, and everything's good. And then final announcement, I don't know if many people know about it, but it's been going around for 14 years. I haven't heard other people announce it here, so I do want to announce that at Curly's Garden Center in Fitchburg, between November 29th up to December 21st, if they last that long, there is a free Christmas tree for any active duty or retired military who would like to have a Christmas tree, but as you know, they're getting very expensive and can't afford one. It's all just come down, get them, pick them up while they last, and this is funded by like GoFundMe and other charities in the organization. And as I said, they've been doing it for 14 years. It grows every year, and so I hope some of our veterans that want to put a nice little tree in their house take advantage of it. And we'll have this information in the packet. Yes.
I just wanted to mention that the Historical Society is having their Christmas Victorian event, and that would be on December the 8th.
December the 8th. For those of you, I wanna make sure you heard that, the Historical Society Christmas event is gonna be December, the eighth. And I'll get a copy of the flyer and put that in the package as well.
Can I back up to the, wild and scenic resignation? We as a town need to have another representative to replace Joan Yakovitz for that. Can we have, and typically towns have an alternate as well. Can we post for that opening on the wild and scenic?
We should.
We can. Yep.
We should.
Let's do that, Sabrina.
It was already sent down to the town.
Oh,
was it already? Excellent,
posted.
thank
Good.
you.
It's already
That's
yes.
my understanding, I don't know if we've
And
had
it should be
any
automatic if
responses
somebody
yet.
resigns, you post it.
Okay. The next, 5.3, the next town meeting will be Monday, December 2nd, 2024 at 6 p.m.
The next select board
Selectmen's
meeting,
What did I say?
not the town meeting.
Town
The
meeting.
next select board meeting will be Monday, December 2nd. And I'd like a motion to review and sign payroll and bills payable warrants out of session.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
We have no executive sessions, I'd like a motion to adjourn at 7:35-ish.
I have 7:24.
7:20, God,
I'm looking at my watch.
24, I did, I looked at, I said it.
I'll move to adjourn at 7:24.
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we got payroll to sign, warrants to sign, things to sign. We shove this over. Yes, you can shut us off.
Well, I just need a computer for that.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'll send it out. Okay. What happened?
Have you adjourned?
Yes, we're adjourned.
Thank you, Harley.
Oh, wait, hold on.
On, till like, about
I don't know.
what did you think we needed to
That's
do?
fine.
I didn't know if you were supposed to be clicking on that, but, we'll see.
I
Oh,
have before.
this is the town.
Okay, payroll. Guess we might wanna stop passing that around, I'll sign it.
You wanna sign it? Okay.
Let them sign it first, and then I'll sign.
We're looking forward to the finance board to work very closely with the board of selectmen and the budget this year.
Okay, I have to ask the question. Didn't Ross and part of that Eric come with tell me what you mean by board of selectmen,
Well,
or working closely?
working closely, I guess, a lot of the times these things were given to you ahead of time and we really didn't realize and it was kind of already voted on before we even had an opinion. So it would be
When
nice
she
if
says
we.
you, she doesn't mean you.
No, not
Okay.
you personally, you know, no, just in general, yes,
So, yeah, I think that the budget policy spells out,
well, it does,
how to work, and that's what I
well, we'd like to
assumed
stick to it.
happened
Yeah.
last year,
Good.
and
Yeah.
I assume Nelson has a handle on it. I mean, everything he said
Well,
today
he's so
is
new.
what he's,
But he's new here, yeah.
is what is in the policy. I didn't see anything out of